Hello guys. Today, what I'll be learning is creating a queue in RabbitMQ. Let's start. First of all, this is my RabbitMQ, and here, what I'll do is open the queue section. Click on the queue section first. Then, below here, you can see there is an option add a new queue. Here, we can give our queue name. Like suppose ABC dot some queue names Q1, okay, and then durable, so select on durable. If we don't want it to be deleted after the first execution, then we will keep it as no. Now here there are options for adding arguments. For arguments we can use like DLX, our date later exchange, where suppose our data somehow failed. Suppose we have a queue and there are some data. Now our consumer, while picking this data from that queue, couldn't successfully pick it. Okay, it may happen that our consumer couldn't pick the data from our queue. Okay, so now if the process is not successful, then what will RabbitMQ do? It will throw that data into our .dlq, another queue named .dlq. Okay, so this .dlq is basically those queues where containing those data. These queues are here. In these queues we are throwing those kind of data that is not successfully processed or consumed. Okay, so that's it. Those kind of DLX we keep here as arguments. Okay, now we can do what? Add queue. When you will do this add queue, a new queue will be added over here. Okay, now our queue is done. Now we have to bind this queue. Bind this queue by a routing expression. For that, we have to go to exchanges. In exchanges, you can see that how can you bind your own queue. Okay, you can do it directly over here by going to this our newly created queue, and here you can basically bind it. Like you can give the queue name, okay, and give the routing expression. Routing means where all the data will be sent here. This is how you can route the data in this queue. So from exchange, add binding to this queue. Let's bind it. Binding by on basis of, you can say, side topic strips model. Okay. Picking up this name and the routing expression. What is the routing expression? Is this expression? So routing expression has been given. Bind. No exchange. Okay. Send the one or suitable. Side of exchange. No issues. Just a second. So here is it. To queue. Okay. Now bind. No queue 7. Why is it saying like this? Let's see. Control V for mono, repo, load and input. You shouldn't get a fine, huh? Okay, so here it is. It got binded. Root for mono, repo, loader, input. So the queue has been binded with a routing expression. Okay, So you can see over here that our this queue, new queue that was added here, it got a binding with an expression. Now whenever from the code base, from the config, there are multiple configs first of all. Okay, you can see there are multiple configs. Now I have particularly saved this expression for this template. So whenever I will execute this configuration, this application.properties file, and it will check that the routing key expression is route for monorepo loader input, then it will simply go to this queue instead of other queues. Because instead of other queues, why it will visit this queue? Because see, I have binded that expression with this queue, so that's why it will directly come over here and put all your contents from the code base inside this queue. That's how we are creating the queue, we are binding the queue with the expression, and that's it. That was everything here.